everybody. Hi. Hi. So I'm back. Hopefully, y'all can hear me. I believe that the sound issue I was having on here has been resolved. I really still don't know what the heck was going on. So, if you guys, any of you guys, saw those lives that I had to delete clearly because there was no sound, I thoroughly apologize. Of course, some things are just beyond my control on here. I don't run YouTube. I don't own YouTube. I don't even know how to get a hold of YouTube. So that was very frustrating, but you should be able to hear me now. If not, please always let me know so that I can do something about it. But anyway, hey, I'm back. And yes, today is New Year's. If you are an astrologer or into astrology at all, you probably know that the astrological New Year doesn't start until March because we go by seasons. And let's face it, it's the dead of winter. And we're probably not doing much right now. It's sort of dormant. We might be making active plans for things that we're going to do when the sun is out. The sun is returned to us when it's warm again, depending on where you live, of course. But yeah, so that's what I thought I'd just pop on here for a quick little chat to talk to anyone who might want to pop in here, say hello. Thanks everyone who has subscribed, who has been supporting this channel. It is a small channel, but I have been working my butt off for you guys, and I want to thank you. And hopefully, you appreciate the energy that I put into this channel, and to continue putting into this channel via lives and shorts. Probably, I don't do a whole lot of pre-recorded readings on here. That's because it just does not get the viewership, and it is sort of a waste of my energy. So, yeah, I might do pick a cards, but that's only if they're well received. And I'm here for you guys. But yeah, where y'all at? I just want y'all to know that, the sound is working. Hi there. The sound is working again. I'm back. I'm here. I'm gonna probably start today. I have a little bit of a sinus headache, so I'm not gonna start doing the individual signs probably until tomorrow. Because it is the Gregorian New Year, as I mentioned before. Astrological New Year doesn't start until March. Fire Horse energy doesn't start until February. So if you have watched any of my lives in 2025, I have talked endlessly pretty much about how it's the year number 9 and it's the year of the snake, and that we are leaving that. We have shed all of the snake's skin, thankfully. Hopefully we've cut karmic ties and we've learned some lessons, and we're ready to start anew because 2026 is year number 1 in numerology. And if you don't know about numerology really just involves doing addition, adding all the numbers and reducing them down. So when you add up 2026 and reduce it down, well, 2026 is 10, which reduces to 1 in numerology. So, and if you don't know this, I talk about collective unconscious all the time on my lives because all of the cards that come out are going to probably be coming out in all of the individual reads because it's a collective energy. It's something we're all going through at the same time. And astrologically, we're all going through this shift from kind of stagnant energy, kind of slow energy, kind of keep to yourself energy, because I'm going through some kind of changes and some kind of leveling up awareness and charging forward in 2026, hopefully, or at least in the actual 2026, like I said, February, March, is that when things are going to be executed then. Right now, we're still kind of in a planning phase, at least collectively. But there are some transits going on. Of course, there's always transits going on. Capricorns, we're in your season. It's a good time for Capricorns. Cancer, next year, Jupiter will be in Cancer. It's a good time to be a Cancer. Cancer rising, remember, astrologically speaking, we talk to the rising and the moon more so than our sun sign. So get that old ideology out of your head about the sun sign. It's fun to know that we aspire to that. If you relate to a reading, it doesn't really matter about the sign. I really want to bring that home because we have all 12 signs in our chart. And that's why I do the all elements, because we all have 12 signs in our chart, but we do have a dominant element in our chart. So if you haven't done so yet, what are you waiting for? Go to astroseek.com, not sponsored. Check out your natal chart. And if you look at the tabs, because I know it's a lot of information and it's a lot to navigate, but there are tabs there on the website, and there is a tab that says dominant. If you click on that, it'll tell you the percentages that you have of all the elements: earth, air, fire, water, and it'll tell you what your dominant element is. And I highly recommend watching from your dominant element over an actual sign, um, because it's more general. All these readings are all general. It just gives you a way to hone in on messages that might be more catered and more resident to you. But do what you want to do on here. There's really no rules at all. It's whatever calls to you the most. And I say that all the time because we look at the title, and if the title speaks to us, that's what we're going to watch. So that's kind of the most important thing, right? But yeah, so we're, because of numerology and because of astrology, going into a year number 1, which is exciting. That's why I've been seeing a lot of aces in the readings: Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Ace, 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 all over the place, right? Because it's year number 1 numerologically. So as much as I want to cater to you guys when I do these readings, it's actually really more of the astrology and the collective energy that's coming through in the readings. So it's a global thing. It's the astrological thing. It's the stars lining up, and that's what comes out. So, and probably when I start doing the sign readings tomorrow or the day after, we're gonna see the shifts. We might see a lot of aces. Tens can, like I said before, are actually beginnings. Nines are the endings. So I'm curious to see what comes out, and what energy collectively that we're all going through is going to come out in these readings. I'm super excited for that, and where the world will take everyone, because we all have shifts, different shifts going on in our lives, depending on our natal chart. Some of you are doing things for your mental health, your physical health. Some of you are, just trying to have select better partners. Others of you are just trying to be stable, just trying to make more money, just trying to get through it, maybe just have a little bit more excitement. And this is the real day-to-day stuff. Aside from tarot, aside from astrology, we're humans. We're humans at the end of the day. And, we're having a human experience, hopefully outside of our cell phones, because we can get caught up in that. And we can get caught up in what the tarot reader is telling us as well. So just remember to think for yourself and use discernment. As always, using discernment to not give your power to a tarot reader. Yeah, especially because we get an idea in our head. And if there's an idea in our head, it's like the inception of the reality. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you want to make sure that the ideas that you have in your head are good, right? Because otherwise it can really shape your reality in a positive or a negative way. So hopefully you guys have just good discernment with the things that you're consuming, the things that you're watching online. And I don't know what's going on with you guys. The sound is back. Everything's up and running again. And I'm going to be doing, I'm not sure if I want to start with Aries or when doing the individual readings. I might start with Aries. I might start with a different sign. I'm not sure yet. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Everything's kind of up in the air yet. I go based on how I feel, you guys. I feel like I should, since I'm here, get a card for the day. Let's get a chakra oracle card for the day. And we'll see what comes out. Let's see what comes out. I'm using the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. What comes out? We have self-worth. Oh, that is so good, you guys. Self-worth. So I feel like in 2026, there could be a resurgence of self-help and self-worth ideology, things like that we're focusing on. This is the sacral chakra. And because it's the sacral chakra, along with self-worth, To me, that is like realizing that you have needs and that your things that make you feel good or pleasurable are very important. Because a lot of the times, if we have low self esteem or if we don't have as much value for ourselves as we should, as we could, as our guys want us to, we don't always ask for the things that we need or the things that we want. And that's important. And actually, in this deck, self worth, it has to do with this chair here and stories about this chair that only appears for people who are super innocent. So it's about purity, not engaging in things that we know consciously are going to dim our light, or things that we know are bad for us, or things that we know are going to damage our self worth. Because when we do that, obviously it hurts us. It's kind of a self sabotaging energy. So I feel like in 2026, there's going to be more emphasis on this. There's going to be more emphasis on not abandoning ourselves, not sabotaging ourselves, because it's the year number one, right? And one has to do with self, me and me alone, because there isn't two yet. There isn't another person yet. In numerologically, other people don't really show up until like number three, because there's two. Okay, oh, there's more than one person. Like, we split the atom. We don't really realize it though, because it's just a projection of ourself until we're at three, and two, three. So one is the self. So there's a huge focus on self, self worth, self value, my needs, self love. It's not selfish either, because I know that there can be like that perception that putting yourself first, asking for things that you want, things like that can seem selfish, and it's really not. It's the steps, the ladders to building the life that we want, the vision that we want, is having self worth. That's really important. If you don't have self worth, if you in relationships, it's really, really damaging. So, and what does that even look like to have self worth? Saying no to things that you don't want, asking for things that you need. It's a simple idea, but it might not be easy to execute in real time, right? Because that's, I mean, take on and off again relationships for an example. A relationship where my needs are constantly not met, I'm undervalued, and I'm disappointed in myself, but I don't necessarily care as much about myself as I should. I'm giving you an example. I'm not saying you specifically as a person, as an example. Somebody who has a higher sense of self worth wouldn't go back to something or wouldn't engage with someone who undervalues them, who ignores them, who puts them down, who doesn't care about their needs, who isn't consistent, right? These are all things. So, yes, I love that self-worth came out, because I 100% think that it's an important thing, and that we're definitely all on a collective level, not necessarily individual, going to be dealing with that in 2026, the year number one, starting around March, potentially February, when the energy kind of amps up with the fire horse. And if you don't know what in the Chinese zodiac, what year you were born in, for example, you could be born the year of the ox, the year of the pig, the year of the tiger. There's different animals. So that's why it's good to know that, because the fire horse 2026 is associated with a lot of intensity. And so you can look that up and you can see, what kind of year am I going to have based on the Chinese zodiac. For example, I think it's the ox, the ox and the rat could actually have a difficult time in 2026, because they have short tempers. And according to the website, not according to me, and with the intensity wrapping up with the horse, that could cause a lot of flare ups. So that's just an example. Self discovery, I love that. So we're engaging the root chakra and the sacral chakra, maybe discovering the things that you like that you've never experienced before. Recovery, yeah, I do feel like there is still this sense of, especially because we have self worth, that's recovery is important. recovery. If you had, for example, if you have low self-worth or low self-esteem, it's kind of the same thing, then there is a recovery process. And what does that mean? I'm not saying that you're going to be going somewhere or facility or something like that, but it's just a reminder of, maybe maybe I need help with developing better self-worth and recovery. And then confusion, I feel like, especially in relationships, because we talk about relationships on here a lot, um overcoming confusion in relationships, and we know now that if it's confusing, it's probably not for us. But also I feel like this is clarity coming in, because I think 2025, a lot of people are confused um with, I don't talk about politics on here, but things that were happening with the politics and with things like that, but also in relationships, or where am I going to go? What am I going to do? Things like that. Clearing up confusion, clearing up, because this gray is thoughts and it's your mind. So clearing up any mental fog, mental confusion, and steering away from relationships that are confusing or full of conflict. 100%. So a lot of people could be in recovery insofar as dating people who make you feel confused, or in recovery for anxiety, or in recovery for some kind of like mental fog. Or, and when I say recovery, it doesn't, I'm not necessarily saying like that you're doing anything, going out of your way to go and get help. It's just an awareness of that these are the things that I might have to heal or overcome, obstacles, things like that. So I love it. Actually, it looks pretty good. And then we have growth here, growth, heart chakra growth, because the green is heart chakra. 100%. I think that the collective has, as I was saying before, awareness, more of an awareness of themselves and accountability in their patterns. There's kind of a growing collective of, I want better for myself, and I want to heal my heart chakra by not going back to situations that cause me confusion, or I feel like I have to recover from them. I hope so. I honestly hope that this happens for all of you guys out there. So I'm gonna end this. It looks like there's nobody in the chat, so I'm gonna end this live because I'm kind of tired. But I do wish you guys the best, even though the new year doesn't start until March. If you're celebrating New Year's Eve today, enjoy and be safe out there. And yes, the sound, I have configured the sound now, and I will be returning to doing lives for the individual signs probably tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. I will talk to you guys later, and see you at your sign.